Firstly, what's the latest on Lachlan, please?
Yeah, so Lachlan's had in the game. I think a lot of people misread it as a knee injury, but he's had a massive laceration to the leg, a clean cut, which has had 15 stitches in it. So um, it is a big, really important to us that how it's happened and how it unfolded wasn't ideal for us. But when you're looking at the bigger picture, where I thought it was a knee originally, I guess it's in the positive side of the story. So Lachlan will be added to the group this week. We're going to give him right up until kick-off to be okay, but he'll either be right this week or miss a week at the most. So that's good news, really.
Okay, so yeah, that is some positive news then, I guess, amongst lots of far from ideal news, really, obviously with all the other injuries that you have at the moment.
Yeah.
And sort of, is there anyone else that sort of we can expect to see back, or any other injuries that have happened this week that we don't know about?
Yeah, no one coming back at the moment. It's a one-way door here, unfortunately. But there is some concern over Tom Amone. He's hurt his foot in the game, and we didn't think it was that bad initially. But we're getting scans. You got scans yesterday, so we're waiting as we speak now for the results on that. So fingers crossed that's okay. But it's looking like a little bit more trouble for us. But we'll handle that once we receive any news on that.
I guess you can't really tax a break at the moment, can you?
Yeah, it is what it is at the moment. I think some of our key players are out, but for me, I try to, as a basic principle, just try to absorb the information when I hear it, and whether it's emotionally involved with that, then I get over it and I move on very quickly. So, if both of those players are out, or at least Lachlan or one of them, we'll handle that. It's something that, I think. As a coach, it's a difficult time that we're going through at the moment, but it can also be a time of building character within the group.
And has that been your message to the guys since Friday night?
Yeah, I thought our first 40 minutes of rugby was absolutely awesome, and there's been times in every game where we've had patches where we've been really, really good, and top four sort of action. So. It's about making sure that we stick together through this. Whilst there is the experienced players and captain that's out injured long term, we've got to rally together as a group and make sure that we deliver a consistent performance on a week-to-week basis. So as good as the 40 minutes were in that first half, the second 40 minutes wasn't, and that's what we've got to try and look forward to improving and go out and get a great result on Saturday.
You told us last week that it would take, I think you said 6 to 8 weeks before league fans could see the league team that you ideally want them to see. And I suppose it's so important, isn't it, to kind of get those first points on the board for you.
Yeah, it is, absolutely it is. It gives you confidence, and from confidence, your performances improve, and the group develops and gets to where you need to get to quicker. But I know it's going to take some time to get there, and it probably a little bit longer now without your key players there. But I think we've got to make sure that the senior players that are in the group, they play their best games and make sure that they lead from the front. So, I'm confident that we can string together an 80-minute performance in which we need to. It's a tough ask for any club or any team to go up to Hull and win up there. And I know they've had their own issues during the start of the season as well. So. We've just got to make sure we take care of ourselves, make sure the attitude's right, and go there with a team that we feel can get the job done.
Is it must win?
Well, all games are must win for me from round one, but I think that the more that you don't win, there's pressure that builds from the outside, and I'm confident that we can regardless of the outcome this week or next week or the week after, we've just got to stick to our process and make sure that. Like I said, our standards are high. We give ourselves the absolute best chance of getting the result that we deserve.
Great, thank you. I'll let other people take over. Thanks, Adrian. Good luck on Saturday.
Hello, you all right?
Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Just on Lachlan, Is it a call had to be made on the day of the game, whether they're playing or not? See how
Yeah,
it is.
it'll go all the way right up to it. So I'll include him in the squad this week, and it's one of those ones that it's a reasonably deep cut. So whether we think it's worth that risking, if it opens up again, that'll be something we make a decision right up until kick-off. So we'll know closer to the time.
Yeah, true. I mean, is it a case of almost like putting through the warm up on the afternoon of the game, so you can make your mind up before you're actually at the game and in the situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Whether he gets to warm up or he gets to warm up and he's not quite right, we'll make that decision on the day. But I think we'll probably plan to play without him at the moment. That's the way that the direction's been for the week. But again, if he's available at the death there, it'll give the team some more confidence. But we'll plan without him and make sure that we're prepared.
Given the way the season's gone with the injuries and everything, you must have about 13 different lineups in your mind, mustn't you?
Yeah, it's a difficult part. This as a coach, as any coach will tell you, it's easy when your best players are available every week, but when you're thinking about who's next, but for me, that's opportunity, creates opportunity for somebody else as well to put their hand up and get into the group. And for the first time ever, we've got a reserve grade side and some players playing a reserve grade that played Leeds and had a great win on the weekend. So I can look at them as well and make sure that, is there anyone in there that deserves a crack up in the first 17 for the first team. So, we've got that base covered now, though we do have, 5 or 6 players potentially out. I am the key players. I think it's just a challenge for the whole group. And like I said to you earlier on, it's about character. And usually when a group comes together and you have a successful season, at some point of that, you have to build that character and show character. So these are the moments that it's needed most. And, I can rely on my leadership group to do that and to make sure that everyone stands up and gives their best performance.
Do the injuries you've got almost like balance your concern of not having the win, if you know what I mean? Like you've not won a game, but you got really bad injuries. Does one cancel the other out, maybe?
It's not for me, not really. No, I think we've been in a position to win every game that we've played so far this year. We've put ourselves in a position to win it, but we haven't won it. So, regardless of, Edwin Apape went in the 7th minute of the first game, and we were still there to win the game, I felt, in the second half. John Asiata went around the 10-minute mark in the St Helens game. He'd only played 1 minute and then probably 2 minutes, so 3 minutes in total. So, we played without John, but I thought we were there to win the game as well at the back end of the game. So, what I do know with my experience in this position with rugby league is that if you can find a way to win as a group without those key players, when they do come back in, it just steals you and it just takes you to another level that you hadn't been before. So, that's what we're working towards. And whether it takes this week, whether we get the win this week or next week or the week after, whatever it is, we're prepared for the long run and the long outcome for all of this. And I know we're going to be in a good place. We've just got to be patient through all of this. Give some players an opportunity that may not have had that prior to these injuries happening. But with that too comes, performances from players that put pressure on other players. So it's all part of the process at the moment. Whilst the luck isn't good and the injuries are there, we'll just get on with it and power on as what we've done.
Cheers, Lammy. I'll pass you over. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Lammy. Hope you well.
Drew, good. Thanks. You?
I'm all good. Good. Most of my questions have been answered, but just I want to talk to you about Emile Hanley. Played his first game of the season last week. Very impressive, I thought. What did you make of his performance? I know he was giving him big raps in pre-season.
Yeah, well, like I said, he was one of the players that certainly stood out in pre-season for me and deserved a start and was unlucky to miss out on our first 17 team. But I thought his performance the other night was really strong. I think he's going to get better every week if he plays there. And once he gets that trust and that feeling that he belongs in Super League and in our team, I think he'll go to another level. But, there was a couple of small mistakes he made the other night that we've had conversations and chat about, and that's part of his development growing. I'm sure he'll sort that out. But, and these are the opportunities that we get when the senior players get injured like they've been. So, Yamola might not have got that opportunity before that, but by doing that, I thought he was outstanding and probably one of the best players on the field.
Yeah, do you think if he can kind of get a run of games under his belt and get some consistency, he could probably stake a claim to fight for his place long term there?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping for, Drew. You know, it puts pressure on players, and we need that right across the whole squad, not only on that wing position, but right through the whole squad. And there are players pushing for that position. Like I said, we've got a reserve grade side now and those players had a really good win against Leeds on the weekend, and they're certainly pushing players, putting them under pressure there. But you know, I think Yamaila's taken it with open hands at the opportunity, and like every player there, you know, like Frankie Holton hasn't played much time in the last couple of years. You know, Owen Trout hasn't played much time. The list goes on and on. Even Brad Dwyer hasn't played much time. But I think by playing all of these games and these players getting big minutes, it can only help their form.
Yeah, just on Brad's loan as well. Is that just a week-to-week thing now? Then is it?
Yeah, it's a season loan, but it can be called back within 24 hours. So it's on a week-to-week basis. He probably won't be considered for Challenge Cup. I think that's part of the agreement next week. So we'll have to work our way around that. But yeah, that's the current situation.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
I'll pass you on, Lammy. Thanks for that.
Hi, Adrian. How are you doing?
Hey, Callum. Very good. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just one from me. The club decided to appeal against John Asiata's grade A dangerous tackle. What was the thinking behind that?
Just the principle of it, really. You know, it's something that we feel very strongly about, that players are being charged at the moment that shouldn't be charged, and just for the sake of that, we're fighting to make sure that John doesn't get a warning. So the way that it works, if he's charged, he gets a warning, and after 3 warnings, you get a week suspension. So if we can beat that warning, that won't be on his record. But more importantly than that, just the principle of the act within the tackle. You know, it's a leg tackler. He tackles the attacking player at hip height before he lifts the leg, and it makes him slide down. So we see nothing wrong with that, and we'll fight that and support our players every single time if we feel that it's injustice there.
Nice one. Cheers, Adrian. Thank you.
Thank you.